thank you very much. Thank you for the introduction. And thank you for inviting me to Iceland. Been here before, but that was on a private vacation. I'm asked to say something about why does Norway win so many medals at the Olympics. And as you know, half an hour to explain this is too short time, but I will give you some glimpse of something that I think it's important. Of course, there is the athletes, they are doing the job themselves, but I will tell you more about the system and how we work to improve the possibilities that they will succeed. So this is me in the handball field. It's much handball here today. I used to be a handball player, and this was my last championships in Beijing Olympics 2008. I participated in 2 Olympics, Sydney 2000, where we got the bronze medal, and also world champion in Norway in '99, and 3 times European champion. And I played in Germany and in Norway, so I'm Norwegian champion and German champion as well. But besides playing handball, I also got some education. So I've studied for 8 years because that was important to have something beside handball. I didn't have much injuries, but I know that it's very important to have something more in mind if you want to succeed. It's hard to be on the top all the time.
How do you become the best? So good the whole world wants to watch you. So good the whole world holds its breath. Will you succeed? Will you fail? Can you handle the pressure? Behind every big moment are thousands of tiny moments. Ordinary days filled with extraordinary ambition, passion, and dedication. Together with a team who support you and make it possible. To be one step ahead is all about being curious, meticulous, patient, and humble. Prepared for the unexpected. Prepared for failure. Prepared for success. To make the best athletes even better. To help more athletes reach a world-class level. To create development opportunities for the next generation of athletes. This is Olympiatoppen's mandate, together with the national teams.
This was a video from the Norwegian Elite Sport Department, Olympiatoppen. I will tell you more about this department. It's a special one in Norway, and I think it's also special in the world. But first I will tell you, you saw a lot of athletes winning in Olympics and summer and winter. But this is typical after a Winter Olympics. In Pyeongchang 2018, we got 39 medals. In Beijing, 4 years later, we had 37 medals, but more gold. So it's always this every 4th year, at least, the world is asking, what are you doing in Norway? And we are more people than you are here in Iceland. We are 5.2 million, but we are also a big country in the areas. We have big areas. So, what is changing over the last year is that we are also successful in the summer sports. And not only team handball, but also athletics and beach volleyball and other. We have a famous football player as well, or two or more. So I'll tell you more about the Olympiatoppen and how we work the elite sport. But first, I will tell you a little bit about the system from my perspective. For our vision is to create joy of sport for all. And this is the vision for all Norwegian sport, elite sport and youth sport, children's sport, all the federations, and this is this is our identity. Joy is important. Are you a child or are you an elite sport? We haven't succeeded in elite sport if we have unhappy athletes. And our values are joy, health, honesty, and community. And when I'm a coach for my children in handball, 8, 10, and 12 years old, this is as important there as it is when you are an elite athlete. And I'm working now in the Norwegian Sport Federation. And we are the only federation in the world which combines the Sport Federation, the Olympic Committee, the Paralympic Committee, the Deaf Olympic, and Special Olympic. So we are very proud of having everything under one umbrella. So that means our president is also president for the Olympic and Paralympic and for the youth and for everything. "93% of all children and youth participate in organized sports during their childhood." And this, I don't know the numbers in other countries, but at least it's a very high number, at present. And this sport is a very strong identity marker in Norway. And 72% of all age 12 in Norway participate in sport. We have the highest number of active members at 12 years. So my oldest child now, she's 12, and 72% of all the children age 12, they are participating in sport or active. And we know this because we know how good member systems, so we know real time know how many that are doing sport. And after the age of 12, there it's especially by the girls, it's decreasing, but it's also decreasing for the male. So this is an important thing we have to look closer at in Norway. They all started somewhere. These are some of our famous athletes. They started in their local clubs, and we have now organized school sports. We don't have community organized sport. We have a club sport. And they are also in their, we have 55 federations under the Norwegian Sport Federations. So 55 sports that are organizing these clubs. And we have more than 9,500 clubs in Norway, small clubs and bigger clubs. And we also have 11 regional sport departments under our umbrella. And each federation also have their regional parts. But high performance sport in Norway, or elite sport, shall be developed both at the top level and the grassroots level. So it's important to say that the grassroots and the children's sport, youth sport, and elite sport, they're in a kind, they are together. We are under the same umbrella, and it's important to see the whole line for us. And we want to deliver great sporting experience to the people. And we have a strategy in the Norwegian sport, and it's all about the children's sport. I'll tell more about that tomorrow. It's about the youth sport. I'll also tell more about that tomorrow. And we have a strategy for elite sport, but this is also in one strategy document. And this is in our General Assembly every 4th year. We state this, and all the 55 sports, they are working from the same strategy document. And one of the thing in the strategy document is about elite sport, and the overarching goal is more new medals. And then we have 3 goals under that, and that is we want to make the best athletes even better, because you know, if you work with the elite athlete, it's not what you do today is not good enough tomorrow. So you have to always be prepared for development and for making them even better. And that is also the mindset of the best athletes. They perfectly know well that what they did yesterday is not good enough for the next championship. But we also want to develop more athletes at international level, to have more athletes on the international level. And we want to develop elite athletes for the future. The young talents, the young athletes, but would you see this as a development for the big performances when they are at senior level? So our young talented, when we send them to championships like AOF or Youth Olympics, it's more an educational arena. We are not so the performance there is more about having motivation and to have experiences that they will perform on a senior level in a good way. So I think that is also something as a red line from our youth sport to the elite sport, that we are looking not to the results, but we are looking for the development and for development of the whole people, that they are going to be good persons, that they are going to feel good about doing sport, having fun, yeah. And the results will eventually come in the end, but we are not focusing on the results. And I think that is also a mindset which tells something about the best athletes. They're also focusing on on development and the next step and how they can improve. And they're not so, and then the result, it will come naturally. Olympiatoppen is then the elite sport department in our federation. Of course, the 55 sports, they also have their elite sport, but we are working together under Olympiatoppen and then we have division lead and train best in the world. I used to, before I started 2 years ago as an assistant secretary general, I used to work in Olympiatoppen, so I was head of performance there for 7 years. So I know very well how they think and how we work, and now so this is still counting. But Olympiatoppen was founded in 1988. And its mission is to contribute to increase the chances of winning for a Norwegian top performance athletes. So it's a meeting place for the best athletes and for the youth athletes. And Olympiatoppen, they challenge, quality assure, and support the top sport work in selected national federations. We are not working with all the 55, but about the 29. I think it's the right number. And this is also, you maybe know, the triathlon champion from the Olympics in Tokyo. Olympiatoppen's core tasks. We all all that were working in Olympiatoppen, they know that the quality of daily training, if you want to become a good athlete or the best athlete, it's important what you do every day. And that you have good quality and that you are not injured, because then you lose some training days. And you saw in the video, I will give you one more video later, but this is one area in our elite sports center, Olympiatoppen in Oslo, where different sports meet and have good training with different experts. So here we can see some para-athletes, the best para rower in the world. We have some, there can be alpine skiers and judo. So we have different sports training in the same sports center. I've been around the world and told more countries of what we do and how we do things, and they always ask what's the secrets behind what you do. And there's no secrets, I think there's more hard work. But one thing I see we do different is that we care really about the relationships in the performance team. And that is easy to say, but it's harder to do. That we care about the people, about the athletes, about having a good time together, that there are, if you are going around the world and competing and training for 300 days a year, of course, if you are not feeling well, if you are not having a good relationship to your trainer or coach or to your teammates, it's difficult to perform. So we are very, we care very much about this, and having a good time and having fun and having the right environment to perform. And it's also about competition preparation and execution. We are handling all the Olympics and Paralympics preparations, and we are very detail focused on what we do there. And this week, our team in Olympiatoppen, they are going to LA, where there will be the next Olympic in 2028. So we are preparing a lot of years ahead to have the best conditions and to think of everything. So it's a long time ago they've been to Milano to get the right places to live and to prepare and to do all the best for the athletes. Olympiatoppen, as I said, is a meeting place for training and advanced sports science for coaches, teams and athletes across sports. So here the handball team, they train and meet with the cross-country team and with the athletics, and it's a kind of environment where you stimulate and you challenge each other, and if you're injured, you can go there to have your rehabilitation together with other athletes which have the same mindset, and you get some kind of community. And although Norway is small, that could also be an advantage, because we can, all the athletes, they know each other and they care about each other and they support each other and they learn from each other. And that's the same thing that the coaches do, having lunches or sessions together. There has been a lot of cross sport sessions with different sports, and coaches can have this community, because it can be really lonely to be a coach in a national team also. And you need to develop, and you need to learn from others and from the best. So like Karsten Warholm, the best 400-meter hurdle runner in the world. Not last season, he was injured, but he is when he's not in a training session in some other country, he trains the Olympiatop, and he'll stay there 8 hours a day to eat, to prepare, to train, to get the experts to help him. And the athlete support, it's all about these small circles here. We have experts in endurance and sports psychology, strength and power, technology and equipment is also important. It's more and more important. Motoric skills, sports coaching, nutrition, of course, and the health department. And we also care about dual career, that we have some advisors that can guide the athletes when they need some more to think about than just only the sport. But we also, of course, respect those who only want to be athletes and don't want to do more than training. But in the long run, we see that also the best athletes and those who said that they only wanted to focus on the sport, when they are a little bit older, they feel, oh, I should have started and do something more, and that would have been good for me. And very few of them, they will have enough money to only do nothing after their career, or they want to develop further. And we are also having a good relationship to the biggest universities in Norway, the sports universities, and we have a cooperation that we do research and development together with them. So Olympiatoppen is situated just beside the Norwegian Sport University. So we have a lot of the experts, they are working with research as one part of their job, and they are doing the expert work at Olympiatoppen as the other part. So they can develop, and we can see, we can combine these things. But we also see that the best athletes, they are ahead of the research. So that's also good for the researcher to see, like Karsten Warholm, he is always trying out some new things that we haven't it's more best practice. So then the researchers can go back and they can do their research on that, but then he is even further. So this is how we work with the athletes. But we also work close with the teams and the federation and the coaches, and we have this model here. We work with the goal setting, with the organization. After they have know where they want to be, we work to see how they can develop as an organization. Because if you are not organized well, you will have less chance to succeed. And then, of course, we work with the training process, which I said, this daily training quality, relationships, and execution in competition and preparation. And through this, we want to develop a performance culture. And I think that is the most important thing that we can develop in the teams. If you have a good performance culture, you will succeed over time, and you will repeat the success. And that's the secret behind the handball. They have we have had medals from '98 to today. And there's a new coach, and there is new players, and there's youth players that are doing great things. But it's about the culture. They develop a good culture that will succeed over time. And as our best alpine skier, he's quitted now, but he said to develop a culture is too important to leave to top management and elected leaders alone. So it's about what's happening in the teams, and you are not the athletes that are on the teams. They are making the culture together with the trainers and with the leaders, of course. But alpine skiing is also a very successful team in Norway. They have produced good athletes over time with the new generations building on what the other generations did. So although Axel quitted, there is new alpine skiers on the top. And this woman has been my coach for more than 10 years. And she always said that nobody deserves to be part of a team that is better than what they have been part of building themselves. So that's also about building strong and good cultures that could succeed over time. This is from a gold medalist in Beijing. In the start of my career, my greatest motivation was to go to practice to meet my friends. I think that's an important thing in our model, that you go to sport because you have fun, you meet friends, and you have good experiences, and the performances were not important. And he also pointed out that the social environment has been alpha and omega. So it's more about stimulating the young people to have motivation to do the job, to train a lot, to have fun, and to continue to stay in sport. And then it's very difficult to see how we'll succeed when they are 10 years old. We try to get a big base so that we can, when they are older, they can choose, and they can choose to be good ones. And it's very difficult. There is examples that people who didn't were on the team when they were 15, they are world champions when they are 30. So it's a long journey for some athletes, but we don't have more than we have to take care of each and everybody. I will also say a little bit about our strategy for the para. One sport, equal opportunities. Para sport is also under our umbrella, and some of the national teams now, they are only having one national team. So there's one national team in rowing, and there is a para athlete there. There's a national team in athletics. There is para athletes there. And we have a big focus on taking care of all the para group and give them the same opportunities, and to integrate them in the sport clubs, in the national teams, and in the whole in our organization. And that is something we work a lot with now the next years, to give all the same opportunities. And it's also about women, because we see that there are more men that win medals in Norway than women. So maybe we have to think a little bit different. How can we stimulate the women to go all the way from youth sport to the elite sport? And we also need more women coaches. Although we are a very equal society, we don't have many elite sport women coaches. So then I will, at the end, just summarize this in a short video.
Olympiatoppen is a scientific and social hub for elite athletes and their coaches. Our task is to support and challenge the national teams with the goal of increasing medal opportunities for Norwegian athletes. Our vision is world-class leadership and practice. Olympiatoppen's practitioners work closely with the national teams to make the best athletes even better, to help more athletes reach a world-class level and to create development opportunities for the next generation of athletes. Here, Olympiatoppen's regional centres also play an important role. 3 core tasks underpin our work with the national teams: to enhance the quality of daily training, to strengthen relationships in the performance teams, and to optimise the preparation and execution of competitions. Olympiatoppen's philosophy is together for the big performances, and we believe that sporting excellence is best achieved by the national team model. Norway may be a small country, but together we can accomplish great sporting performances on the world stage. And still be good friends afterwards.
But if there's one question or something, then yeah.
What does an athlete need to qualify for the Olympiatoppen?
Yes, the question is what does an athlete need to qualify for Olympiatoppen? Results. There the young athletes, there it's a broader range, of course, but on the top level, you have to perform before you get support. And of course, if we had more money, we would give this support for even more athletes. But you have to be on a national team, and we have defined some national teams which are good in Olympics, because at the end we are also measured by medals. So if you are in a national team and a prioritized sport, then you can get the support. But the top support, it's only given to those who are 6 best in the world. But the regional departments, they are caring more about talent and young athletes. So they are getting more regional, where they live and have their daily training.